Blast, and not having One Thief means you don't have the One Thief body itself to target with frost spells, and you don't have the capability of discovering more additional things like devolving missiles and a potential primordial studies to also be a target for frost spells.
Well, here we go. GivePLZ going for the full mull. I think we're looking for pretty much nothing but the grunts, I suppose, commencement as well, just to get some big threats online right at the start. And I think for Gur, you can also afford to be very picky with your starting hand. You're looking for, obviously, anyway, as you said, to get your frost spells played, but most importantly, just the Incanter's flow to make things nice and fluid in your game plan.
Job's done.
I just found it funny how you said, look for grunts so you can get threats right at the start. Yeah. Turn 6 is the start for Big Warrior in this matchup. Turn 5, I guess, since he has the coin. He has ended up with 2 of the minions that you want to get from the grunt in the opening hand, which is not necessarily a disaster as long as there's still Scrapyard Colossus and the other Troublemaker for it to pull. But for Gur, this turn, he can just trade away Fire Sale. I think that's probably better than a ping on average. It's one more shot at getting Incanter's flow on curve. Misses, but it's all right. Hey, Prime could be a big deal getting the armor at some point.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of questionable if you even want to play it at the start, though, is the problem. It's almost like you're going to end up going like, play it and then shield slam it straight away, just because you really don't want to play any threats before they're actually threats, you know, doing something on the board, because a 4/4 does absolutely nothing.
That is true. Anchorman can draw if you damage it with the sword and board.
Yeah. Wow, he just plays it.
Wait, that's amazing for Gur. He just
Is that right? I have some serious doubts.
Well, as Gur, I want to play both my frost spells and complete layer 1 and part of layer 2. So he can start Ruined Orb, and then, you know, whatever you get, you can play Brain Freeze, then you go Hot Streak, that's quest stage 1 done.
Oh.
And then you can play the other frost spell and an Ignite for free. It all fits.
That's sick, yeah. Do you think there's any consideration in this matchup where, similarly to Handlock, you kind of want to save your freeze spells because they're actually very good once those big threats come online?
There must be a way.
There is, but I mean, if you're going to save them, that means Varden doesn't come into hand until much, much later, right? We've talked about how the start for Big Warrior is turn 6. If there's the chance to just put yourself on layer 2 immediately, which also draws you more cards, I think you should absolutely take it. And I take a Cone of Cold here as another frost spell.
Sure, yeah, that could be very good later on. Whatever it is, Gur does need to get a little bit of a move on. There's still a few cards left to play on this turn and animations to go as well.
Looks like he might just do layer 1 here, and he saves Flurry for the next layer. Reasonable, right? GivePLZ doesn't always kill this off, and also he's just gotten the Ice Barrier for himself, so that's frost spell for layer 2.
Okay, now he does kill it off, and Gur is a little sad. It's not the end of the world, because he can still obviously get, Fire played here, draw a card, Barrier played for Frost. He just need Arcane, and then Fireball or Ignite can go face, and he's quite happily chugging along with his quest.
And am I too impatient for wanting to use Hot Streak also? Just so he could play the Barrier immediately this turn?
I did kind of like that, yeah. I don't know if he's trying to save it for, like, Ignite on the same turn as Varden or something, just to, like, get more spell damage out of it immediately. But I agree. Yeah, I was on board with just getting the mana spent as quick as possible.
Well, first charge of the axe comes down. He's still not a grunt in sight, and all of the big threats outside of second Troublemaker and Scrapyard already in the hand. That's kind of a disaster.
Right, AI, Arcane, Barrier, Frost, Hot Streak, Fire, next turn, I guess. Sure.
Yeah. He doesn't have anything really to spend it with other than Ignite, and I think he wants to find Cram Session more than anything here. Unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 50-50 at that point with a Troublemaker and a Colossus still in the deck. Oh, sorry, and Prime, actually. So just slightly unlucky for GivePLZ to get a grunt there. But at the very least, you know, it does still hit for 6. It's something, and something big is coming out of it when it dies as well. But
I think you can play Varden this turn, right?
Yeah. I was going to say that for Guru, you can theoretically look at trying to kill the Grunt on your turn, because then if Troublemaker comes down, it doesn't get any 3/3s, and you can just kill it off immediately. But that does seem a little bit tricky to do on this turn.
Another Brain Freeze is insane as well.
Yes.
I don't think you play it, though. Because I don't actually want to damage the Grunt twice. Like, I want to leave it frozen. You have to remove the Divine Shield, I think, because I think Gur wants to play another First Flame.
Right.
Oh, okay. He takes another First Flame rather than Brain Freeze. That surprises me. But anyway, First Flame, Snap Freeze, Varden playable here. Okay, looks like he's going to
Quest. I think he's roping.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared. Did he play it?
I have proven myself.
Gosh.
Thank goodness. Yeah, that is a huge difference. He would have been in actually some amount of trouble if he hadn't got that off. Now, though, however, I think he is very much sitting pretty. He just needs one piece of card draw, and he should be absolutely fine.
Well, provokes a decent draw for GivePLZ just to pop out a minion immediately. Gets prime armor, which is good in the temporary, but what he really needs is Bulwark soon.
Oh, you don't really want to attack into this either, do you? Like, you lose so much health on it.
Yeah, but you have to, right? You cannot face tank the 7. He is just dead the turn after in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I was thinking he could use the shield slam, I don't know, just to finish off the rest of it that way. But fair enough, gaining the armor does make him maybe buy him a bit of extra time to go Troublemaker into Rattlegore.
One saving grace for GivePLZ is Gur doesn't have any card draw. Currently, he can look in the Steward for ideally a Cram Session. You take a Springwater or AI2. Ring Toss is interesting. It's hard to maneuver getting Rigged Fair Game to ever go off because GivePLZ has a Bulwark, a weapon. But yeah, you also cannot corrupt it. But maybe over 2 turns?
Maybe. I was kind of looking at Wildfire, to be perfectly honest, just to get more ping damage each turn. Like, I don't know. I know it's not much, but this Ring Toss isn't doing much for me at all.
True. I guess Entity is pretty good with Ring Toss, right? GivePLZ, I mean...
True, yeah.
Just has a lot of threats he might play from hand. Oh my god. How is this possible? That was a 1 in 3 this time.
Yeah, that was pretty unlucky.
Okay.
That's the big one. Yeah.
Looking for Cram Session. Okay,
still misses. Corrupts his Ring Toss, which is now looking like a much better pick.
Yeah.
And so as you were saying, I think that Mirror Entity is the premium option heading into turn 9. I wouldn't mind a Rattlegore of my own.
And I would like to play Barrier first so it's removed from the pool of secrets, because having Barrier and Rigged Fair Game kind of creates this dichotomy for GivePLZ where if you deny the Rigged Fair Game, you have to proc the second Barrier. Oh, really? I kind of thought it would be Guild Trader here just to cycle through the deck a bit faster. Now if you go Barrier, Ring Toss, and take Rigged Fair Game, there is the possibility of overdrawing. Granted, the Rigged Fair Game is almost certainly not going to go off the next turn.
Oh, he's trying to kill whatever comes out. I guess hoping for Troublemaker, so it's just a clean kill. That's what he gets. That's huge.
Okay. Nicely done from Gur. If this were a Scrapyard Colossus, he still could have killed the first layer and the second layer.
True.
It would involve using an Ignite on it as well.
Oh, that's another whiff there. Steward, come on. We need some card draw.
If you play Steward, though, you can't go both Barrier and Rigged Fair Game, but I guess the Barrier is just a bit superfluous here.
I just want mana available, like...
There must be a way.
Looks like he's going Ring Toss, though.
Really?
If he starts with Barrier, I think the only reason for that is to curate your Ring Toss.
Man, It's so interesting. Like I fully trust Gur on this mage. He's played it so much over the course of GM, but I felt like I would have played almost every turn differently from what he's done this game.
Almost, yeah. The turn where he got the Varian down, I 100% think what he did was just an optimization of what I was saying, because he would have had 1 mana spare if he used Flurry, so he just used Snap Freeze instead. He did find Rigged Fair Game and Mirror Entity, which are the 2 good ones we've talked about here.
Yeah.
It's a very big deal. Then he has freezes for not days, years here. Darrow, these flurries are already rank 3.
Yeah, absolutely nothing going to be attacking phase anytime soon.
And GivePLZ, while he does have a weapon, it's only 1 charge left, right? So even though Rigged Fair Game doesn't go off this turn necessarily, it very well could the next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a decent setup, because 2 turns time to win the game. Absolutely, we'll take that.
He throws out Rancor to play around Counterspell. That's the most useless card, really? More than Sword and Board?
Woof.
And he doesn't swing, so Gur gets his draw.
Oh my god, really? I mean, this has to just be GG now, even if it's not lethal on this turn. Like, the amount of card draw he now has, this is closing out the game.
Yeah, I think he can start sending this Ignite back into the deck.
Agreed.
He has Spring Water and AI now.
Oh
Starts
my
with Fireball.
goodness. Is this lethal even? Like, with the extra mana you have from Hot Streak, it's kind of close. Not quite.
Yeah, 19 in hand right now. Not counting spell damage.
Yeah.
First flow found towards the end of the game, but actually still relevant. It's discounting the Ignites. Nicely done, this order from Gur.
Yeah, very, very nice. Even with both of the Incantus flows naturally in his deck right at the bottom, it does not matter at all. GivePLZ needs the Bulwark now, even to survive realistically, because he's just so likely to be dead on the following turn with these 1-mana Ignites coming through. He just throws it down. It is one of the most miserable matchups currently in the metagame, with the almost entire matchup spread feeling very, very even right now. Not so Quest Mage versus Big Warrior. It's one of the hardest punishes you can get for bringing it. And GivePLZ is rewarded for bringing Quest Mage again. Just game 1, snapping up a quick victory. It was a very fortunate Q order for him.
Yeah, I would agree. Gur also has a potential good target with Mage if the opponent is bringing Libram Paladin, so and Handlock, in my opinion. So that's at least 3 reasonable decks that the Mage can run up against. So even though Gur is really the only person in our top 8 with the Mage in the lineup, that the fact that it has a few very good matchups and the fact that Gur seems more comfortable on it than any other deck, to the point that he's willing to wait till the last millisecond to play Varden, I think bodes well for Gur's lineup as a whole.
Yeah.
Moving on now, though, he does have access to the Survival Druid, which is another Gur special. I hope we get to see that, because this is a deck that I feel has not lived up to its true potential, because every time Gur's played it prior to this, he's gotten scammed one way or another by his opponent.
And you are quite right. I'm still unsure how I feel about this deck, like trying to look at it holistically rather than the very unfortunate games he's been forced into, because in one aspect, I can totally understand this deck. It feels like a less greedy version of Cthulhu, right? Because you still have a win condition that can beat Warlock most of the time, Mages, Demon Hunters. I don't think you need Cthulhu to get there necessarily. And you have the Owls, you have the Gnolls, you have ways that your minions can just dominate the board in the mid game. But it's a deck that can just be exhausted of all of its threats fairly easily. I'm going to say that Big Warrior has what it takes to just remove all the relevant minions in the game.
I would agree if you were to play it like a normal Anaconda deck where you just vomit everything into one board. It's so easy to Brawl / Bladestorm and another thing to get rid of it. I think there is a way Gur can play this, though, to make that outlast the removal from GivePLZ, which is going for 1 or 2 big threats at a time. Nothing more than that. Don't walk into a Brawl. And the threats can get to like 15 attack, 20 attack, depending on how many survivals he plays. But the thing is, it's really hard to do that safely here, because as soon as you align, GivePLZ can play Rattlegore for 1. It's not a good matchup for the Druid, in my opinion, but it's doable.
Okay, well, we're getting a reasonable starting hand as well here for GivePLZ. He's finally drawn the good half of the minions and the summoning effects with Commencement and Grunt in his starting hand. But Gur as well, getting off to a really fast start. Malagos in his starting hand with the Celestial alignment is absolutely huge. It's going to be kind of close as to who gets the better end of the deal, though, off the Celestial alignment. Because for GivePLZ, as soon as he goes Commencement, big minion, Cowardly Grunt pulls out something big as well. Gur, if he is going to go for the Celestial alignment, which he does not have to, is going to have a monumentally strong couple of turns.
I think if he aligns, the very next turn, he has to put together a board that is bigger than a Rattlegore. So that probably involves Anaconda or 2 Cenarian Wards.
That makes sense to me.
And I really don't want him to play it here, even though he still can, because the overload is too punishing.
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably just end up playing Malagos next turn, although you do kind of want to dump some of the cards you have available. It's a little bit of an awkward hand, to be perfectly honest.
GivePLZ insta-picks just the most expensive minion, which I'm fully on board for. You want your hand to be as stacked for post-alignment as possible.
Yeah, I mean, Broom was tempting, though, to be fair, right? Like, if you're facing down a big board and you can rush out Rattlegore or a Colossus, I was kind of interested in that. Because, again, it could be a Celestial alignment game, but there's a very good chance that Gur just doesn't play the Celestial alignment and thinks that he can get there with just his own brute force of minions.
Very true. And currently his hand is, you know, half good with alignment because he has Nourish and Malagos, but the rest of it is actively worse because of alignment, because all of these 0-cost cards. So I wonder if he just coin Vates Malagos. It's not drawing that much. Okay, gonna go Cenarian Ward and then I guess set up for Malagos the next turn. But that's one of the low rolls in Beastmaster Leerox.
Yeah, not what you wanted to see. I can respect going for a big minion on this turn, because then, of course, you are looking at the possibility of disrupting their Grunt turn. But when you get a 5/5, they are quite happily going to play their Cowardly Grunt into that. Anaconda off the top, though, is spicy. Now we are definitely looking at a potential Celestial alignment, because next turn, Anaconda, play all your ramp spells with the Nourish Malagos to draw 1,000,000 cards. This is getting spicy.
Yeah. The whole reason for holding on to these 0-cost cards is waiting for Anaconda, even though they go up to 1 with the Celestial alignment. As soon as you play Anaconda, they're free again, just generating more mana. But GivePLZ starts to put forward as much of a threat that he can. Gets the Krastenov to buff his Outrider's Axe, draws another card, the Scrapyard Colossus, and the Cowardly Grunt, pushing for quite a bit of damage, but Anaconda is going to put forward more stats than that, I think.
Oh my god, you can go, okay, ramp, so nourish for mana, I guess germinate your Anaconda, but I don't even know if that's the best thing you could do with germination. It's just to like free up a hand space, I'd consider it.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best, I think, because and everything costs 0 already. Outside of, I mean, all the important things cost 0 already. There's
oh my goodness. You can go Solar Cenarian, you can go Solar Survival if you think that's better.
You got a 0/0.
That's pretty rough. Oh, look at this.
He's doing the thing.
There's still more stuff. You got to keep going, right? Like, guess the weight, nourish for draw. This isn't even close to over yet.
Oh, yeah. He's just doing the things that are sure to happen. This order doesn't matter with survival because
it does.
Handboard and the deck.
Oh, sorry. The guess the weight does actually work because he draws a 0 mana null and then can draw a 1 mana card off of that, which is pretty sick. I haven't seen that interaction in a while. But there as well, Umbral Owl can come down if you want to, but maybe you're supposed to hold that back at this point.
Yeah, I like stopping here a lot. I mean, I already think 3 minions is a lot into Brawl.
Yeah.
Because there's so few minions in the deck for Gur. It's just these 3, second copy of, and the second copies of these 3. So he only has 6 real minions left.
I mean, he has
already played all the Cenarian Wards as well. So he has to survive 2 layers of Brawl, theoretically.
So bump into Anaconda allows you to finish it off with the weapon. You can then summon 2 big minions from your deck with the Grunt and the Commencement. Unless you want to draw for Brawl as the other possibility by double attack swing.
But you can't play it. Yeah. Sorry. Draw with the weapon.
Exactly.
I think just killing Anaconda is okay, and then
agreed.
Play the other Commencement. I don't think Gur has the capability of going face with the 12/12 by that point, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have another minion with Divine Shield and Taunt. That is the card that actually costs 1. Wow. Yeah.
That is surprising.
Well, fair enough. That is a 0/0 on the right-hand side of Gur's board.
I mean, kind of, in terms of killing you, but like, in terms of clearing up this board, it's still pretty scary. I guess, though, it is very, very unlikely that GivePLZ now dies on this turn, even with Null into Owl to clear off the taunt. It is very relevant that he did get, as you said, the 0/0 of the Abyssal.
I don't know if there is a lethal possibility, because there's still the other survival in the deck, and he has Solar Eclipse, so we could look at this Malagos as being a 20/20, but that's 3 damage short. And the nature studies, what it discovers is going to cost original, so maybe not possible. Let's see what's in it, though. I guess growth. I don't know.
Kind of looking at Shell just to trade it, honestly, and find something better. I guess, yeah, at this point you kind of want value more so than card draw effects, because you do still have the Auctioneer.
Yeah, I'm never spending 1 mana on trade. Maybe that's just in hand to eventually be 2 7s, because like I said, he has very few minions left. But committing only 1 minion here, I like. Just take the value trades where you can. Force GivePLZ to have Brawl, and after you see the Brawl, you go in with another layer of minions.
Gets the hero power in just about at the end as well, which of course means that we have to see an answer here from GivePLZ. Drawing the Grunt is obviously not terrible, because it means that you have nothing but good minions left to summon with the Commencement, but are they good enough? Look at the amount of attack on these minions.
There's 0 on the one in the middle.
Sure, yeah.
But certainly he is dead on board to everything else, so he can commence again. Just have another sticky taunt. That's not necessarily safe, because there is rush minions left for Gur. Goes for Minefield, and that's enough for him to finish off at least the Null with a swing or a Rancor. Just actively drawing, looking for Brawl or Blade Storm, more important.
That's like half his mana, though, he spent on that turn. Was it not like Bulwark Commencement? I guess he's just trying to set up for find the Brawl, clear the board, and then play Commencement to actually swing it, rather than just to use his Commencements as cannon fodder.
Yeah, I can see that. The Bulwark does keep him safe, because he's already seen... Well, he doesn't know what came off the nature study, so in some worlds, it could give Gur... Actually, there's no direct damage left for him. It just buffs things that are already on board, so it never speeds up the Bulwark clock, I think.
Well, this is where you wish you were playing the Cthulhu version, right? So you could have Eye of Cthulhu to just win the game on the spot. But yeah, again, as you said, outside of that, taking a look at the cards left for Gur, it is all just... it's a pretty juiced up deck, right? The Survival of the Fittest, the Null, the Owl, it's pretty good, but it's nothing that chews through this Bulwark. So GivePLZ does have that 1 extra turn to try and get through all this, because as I was saying, Gur needs to be very careful. His threats are very exhaustible in this deck.
Gonna go ahead and say, if you played the Cthulhu version, though, you would not have gotten GivePLZ down to 10 HP.
True. Yeah, very true.
The Thune version is also exhaustible in a way where they just stack armor beyond 30 and have minions to eat the Cthulhu. This one over Cthulhu, honestly, if I had the pick, but there's a scrapyard now as well, which means the only thing that this last Cowardly Grunt can get is the Rattlegore. Same with Commencement, I think.
There's a Rattlegore and a Troublemaker, right, left in the deck.
True. My bad.
And so on this turn, I am looking at, I think, Heavy Plate, Shield Slam the Mally, and then play a threat, right? Either Commencement or the Colossus are both tempting, yeah.
I like that. He's just going to see what's in the Commencement first. Hits Rattlegore, which, I mean, a Troublemaker was probably worse than Rattlegore in this instance. But being able to just exactly kill the Malagos with Shield Slam is a big deal here. His removal has not been the right shape thus far. No Brawl, no Blade Storm this entire time, even with only 11 cards left in the deck.
Oh, he's just going in with the minions. Removal. Okay. What removal? He's putting up the Great Wall here.
And honestly, even if Gur had access to all of his rush minions here, GivePLZ is never dead because there is still 3 charges on the Bulwark. And Gur only can get rid of 3 of them with his hero power and 2 attacks.
Oh, wait. If you go Umbral Owl, copy, Lunar Eclipse, bang, bang. If you can draw Null, is it lethal? Because you can... No, it's not, is it? No.
Oh,
yeah,
never
even
have enough
then.
face attacks. Only 3 things, including your hero power, can ever go face. So I think Gur is once again meant to play as few threats as possible. He could just go for, like, survival here. You'd love to go Best in Shell survival and buff those additional minions immediately, but there's still a Nature Studies aura in play, so he can't do that, I think. And also, he's going to start fatiguing because of the Gadget Sand auction.
Exactly. This 1 mana 12/12 has a strict downside on its effect. Oh, man.
Actively saving the second survival for post-Turtles, and he can still do that. Oh, no. There's a Lunar Eclipse aura. So he can't? Or he's just choosing not to because, again, Brawl.
Brawl. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't want to overextend. Needs just enough threats afterwards to get the job done. 1 minion left on the board can close things out. And GivePLZ again left without a Brawl. But this is a board that he can just start to deal with, right? He's guaranteed Rattlegore off of the 6/2, even if it doesn't have Taunt and Divine Shield, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But from there, he can start clearing up with the Rancor.
Yeah, so if the Grunt goes in the 12/8, a 3/3 in the 12/5, a 3/3 in the 25. You can then Rancor and Shield Slam the remainder of the Auctioneer, and that's a full clear.
It is, yeah.
And you gain 6 armor. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that's winning, though, because he still needs more removal after this, because Gur has the Turtles.
He does, Turtle, Bloom, Solar Survival, it would have to be, which is still a little awkward, actually, in terms of the mana he has available.
Bloom first. I think it's fine. Like, even if you're overloaded for 4 next turn, everything costs 1 or 0 at this point, so...
Very true.
The only question is whether he plays more minions than that. Is 2 Turtles enough to threaten GivePLZ? They will be 10 17s, right? With
10
Solar
15s.
Survival?
Yeah.
Oh, 10 15, yes. And that is 20 damage that can get past the armor total. But if there's heavy plate, they don't have lethal.
I feel like you want to just put them on having Brawl, right? They haven't had it so far. I know it's just like 2 out of 9 at this point, but if they don't have it, you just win the game, right? Surely.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he can survive with heavy plate, and that's another turn that Gur has to wait. I think... Oh, it's super close, but playing the Gold Charnel could have been the difference here. And it's so weird to me that Rattlegore is the smallest minion on board by a wide margin.
Yeah, I know, Rattlegore.
Blade Storm doesn't really do anything great here.
If you trade...
Heavy plate Shield Slam gets rid of 1. Oh, he's trading. Okay.
Wow. Still no Brawl.
Burden board hero power Shield Slam is 1 damage short of killing 1.
You can trade
Blade Storm, 6.
and then just chill on the other one, let it live.
No, you can Hero Power Shield Slam it now.
Okay, sure, yeah. I guess that's worth it, right? Otherwise your armor just gets deleted anyway, so you have to use it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He still has the other Shield Slam in the deck. Yeah, this is cleverly spotted by Give. Couldn't find the Blade Storm play. But here it is now. Last wave of threats for Gur. They're giant minions. They are battleground-sized minions. But is it enough?
Big.
There's still 2 brawls for Give, please.
Oh. So how much do you play? You have effectively 4 threats here. You don't want to go Auctioneer Germination especially. But I guess you can go Lunar Eclipse just to make that smaller, and then like Null Copy maybe? He just plays an Auctioneer. Oh my god.
Give Please is alive again.
Yeah.
Man, Gur, I wanted to play at least 2 minions.
Yeah.
Like Null Germination probably is what I would have ended up on.
I guess he's just saying that he is going to start fatiguing, but who cares? He has such a long time before he's dead that just 1 threat every single turn, now that Bulwark is down, eventually we'll get there?
That's actually a very good point. Yeah, I failed to consider, even though he's fatiguing, Give Please never has counter-lethal here. So even though Give Please has access to armor and 1 more Shield Slam, potentially, it just never kills the Auctioneer. And Gur never dies. And
that's a load of trash.
Even if the Auctioneer somehow dies to a discovered effect,
yeah,
Gur just plays another minion, and that one finally gets there. Because the Rattlegore is actively preventing the last Blade Storm from killing Gur's big minions.
Minefield hoping for 3 to hit it?
Yeah?
Okay, it does! And it gets Sword and Board! Oh my god!
Oh, this is so weird now.
So weird. And then you just play 1 more big minion?
Yeah, you do. And now Give Please has to like draw Brawl and win 50-50s.
And because the Null is exactly 21 attack, Hero Power alone won't do it anymore. Because Hero Power can finish him off for Gur on the next turn.
Surely you Germinate this, right?
Brawl becomes a 50-50 to a 2 out of 3 to win the game?
Yeah?
Yes, I agree.
It's never the Owl because then you don't have a Germinate target if you lose the 1 in 3. But say there's a Brawl off the top, Give Please wins the 1 in 3, you at least have 1 more threat after that.
I think Gur is going to come to the same conclusion. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
He only has 1 draw at a time here. So first of all, he needs to draw Brawl, which is 2 out of 7, or a Heavy Plate and have that tradable into a Brawl.
Yes. Oh no! That's a Blade Storm. That is doing nothing.
Again, Rattlegore actively making Blade Storm bad. I just did not know that would be a thing.
Oh my goodness, Gur turning things around now, even getting disastrous 8-drops. Like, Lerox was obviously terrible as a 5-5, and then the only thing that stopped him winning the game like 10 turns ago was the fact that he got the Abyssal, right, which couldn't attack face. If that had been literally any other 8-drop, like even Natalie Celine, right, that still probably would have been big enough with +8 health to at least be able to attack a couple times. Or, I don't know, maybe something a bit more mid-rangey, but either way, he got unlucky, but still, I think with very considered play in the late game, perfectly showing how to not overextend and play around your opponent's outs, he gets the win.
Very cleverly done. I mean, this one was hard to evaluate because Gur made this matchup look super favored, but Give Please's Brawls were in the bottom 7.
Yes.
Both of them. If one of them had come out sooner, right, potentially Give Please could have stacked more armor because he's not face tanking whatever minions were left, and then the Shield Slam becomes usable for him. There's a lot of different panouts for this, but I do think that Gur played very, very well with the tools he was given. On the turn he went for Malagos, I was tempted to like dump all of the nature spell, or like all of the zero-cost ramp spells to have as much hand space as possible, but Gur decided there's still utility for these lightning blooms. There's still usage with them for Anaconda. And the turn where he picked the Best in Shell so much in advance, the foresight to get that won him the game. He had 2 extra threats. Whereas, I mean, he only had 1 extra minion at the end of this. It was perfectly curated. Everything he had to do was necessary, and he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, he's clearly done the prep and knows exactly how to be taking down that matchup. And now with the Quest Mage out of the way, the survival of the fittest Celestial Alignment Druid out of the way, both his weird, funky, unique decks are done, and he's left with just Garrote Rogue as his final remaining archetype to take the win with, looking to be in a fantastic spot. The one-off Broom in there instead of a Pen Flinger, you know, sure, I don't think, or instead of a Brain Freeze, I guess, I don't think it's going to be massively changing any of the matchups, to be honest, with Rogue, Demon Hunter, and Warrior left over for GivePLZ. And the headline is still, this is a miserable matchup. Even aside from the win rate, which is pretty terrible for the Rogue, I just hate having to play this matchup. You have to do so much maths as the Rogue, and that's not what I came to Hearthstone to do.
You're in the wrong game, Derek. And maybe don't play Mercenaries. I heard there's going to be a lot of that. By the way, everybody, Mercenaries drops in 3 days now. October 12th.
Very excited. Okay.
A decent opening hand for both players. Gur has Swindle and Octobot, so enough fuel to discount, but GivePLZ has the Grunt and the Commencement. The main benefit of playing the Big Warrior over the Control Warrior, even though both of them are massively favored versus the Garrote Rogue, is not only do you have the defensive line of just stacking armor, getting out of most breakpoints from the Rogue and putting a Bulwark on top of all of it, you also have threats to pressure the Rogue and force them to go for combos sooner than they would like.
That's right, yeah. It's really once Rattlegore and the Troublemaker in particular, actually, that when they come online, Rogue is forced to go for the lethal on the following turn.
Ooh.
And it looks like Gur may be able to go for one of those quick lethals, however, because even with GivePLZ getting through to his threats, starting to stack up that armor, this hand is absolute lightning from Gur. He can discount it, draw next turn, even play the Swindle this turn if he wants to, with Coin, Swindle, Octobot, proc, and then a massive field contact the turn after.
This looks weird to see Dagger just thrown out immediately in the heavy plate, even though it's floating mana and GivePLZ is under no threat, but that's just how this matchup works, right? This damage is permanent. The Warrior wants to stay above 48, ideally, if they don't have a Bulwark in play, because in the base deck of the Rogue, having +4 spell damage from 2 Ethereal Aug Merchants and 2 Shadow Steps allows for all Garrotes and Bleeds total to deal 48.
It's all just very well timed as well by Gur. This is no mistake that he's leading up for the field contact draw turn, going into when Cowardly Grunt wants to come online. It's unfortunate that he's unlikely to be able to give Divine Shield to his field contact now, but basically this could force off an entire turn's worth of threats from GivePLZ because of how crucial it is to kill field contact.
Even though I think Gur should hold on to the One Thief to go with the field contact turn, it's a bit tempting to play it here because just Minefield would have cleared everything up otherwise. So he actually just does go for it. Ruined Orb, I'm snapping that up. More damage. Flurry tempting, but you need damage here.
I was very tempted by Flurry, I've got to be honest. Like, I know that damage is important, but very often being able to buy yourself 1 extra turn equals more damage, right? Because you can then find more time to play extra spell damage, maybe play Kazakus Golem, Kazakus for a spell damage Golem. I don't know. It's fine. I'd be happy with either. And Ruined Orb can get you a lot more damage.
Close, right? Ruined Orb discovers mage spells. Big deal. Any shot at Mask of Cthulhu, I'm taken here. I want an answer to Bulwark.
It gets rogue spells.
Does it? Okay, that's my bad.
It's just discover a spell. So you're looking at Wicked Stab, right, as one of the best ones you can get. There's still a lot of damage in the rogue pool.
Yeah, I completely just confused that for some other card decks. That's my rigged fair game. Mage Secrets. Yeah. I mean, Ring Toss. Let's move on. Back.
Well, it's a weird turn here for GivePLZ because obviously he can go for plenty of different removal options, right? Sword and Board Minefield, Shield Slam, there's some shenanigans you can do with Blade Storm, but it's all the removal that's good against a field contact board. Use the turn before field contact is likely to come down. So this is a very important turning point for GivePLZ when he goes for all of this removal.
Yeah, he does still have Blade Storm, which combined with Shield Slam usually can get through the entire board. But I think GivePLZ is more thinking, if there's not field contact this turn, I have a clear runway to go for Cowardly Grunt. And he was just not interested in taking the incremental damage from Gur's board, which is relevant in this matchup. And Gur here, if he's not starting field contact, is it going to be a field contact turn? Maybe he gets greedy with Shroud here?
Oh, I really like contact on this turn. Again, going into turn 6, it's... like, Commencement we can talk about still being a good turn to go into, but if they get Troublemaker, it's very possibly going to die anyway. I don't know. And just contact double cult Neophyte is very nice. Penflinger as well. Even just throwing down the Broomstick is fine here. But it looks like he's deviating for a turn. This is interesting.
Reading it out, which means it's like Neophyte Ruined Orb this turn. Ruined Orb first, see what's in there. I mean, you could talk about saving Ruined Orb for the turn at the end when you have all the spell damage, but I'd rather have that discovered spell right now, fit in the mana where you can. But Gur's going Dagger, really maximizing his damage potential. GivePLZ with a shake of the head, I wonder why. He still has a very clean Grunt turn here.
Yeah, very, very simple. Next turn you go for the Commencement as well. And, or, you know, go for the clear, most likely on the field contact, I guess, with the Rancor. But this absolutely now is time to go in for Gur. He can very possibly end up killing whatever comes out, because if you can get a Troublemaker on the other side, right, then that's actually very clearable with the Broom, and that is what comes out. That is the nightmare card for GivePLZ. And now Gur is looking to be in a very good position on this turn, clearing the minion, drawing his entire deck, maybe setting up for lethal next turn, depending on what he gets here.
Oh my gosh, another Octobot would be perfect! He doesn't have the other field contact yet, but there's still draws to be had here. And this Broomstick tech, most people have moved away from this, but Gur has loved it from the beginning, and it's coming in clutch here. Gets to push 3 face with the Neophyte that was on board last turn. Just what is the last card that's going to be played here? Probably Penflinger?
Is he just trying to clear minions off the board? Oh, playing around Rancor.
Yeah.
This is clever.
Freeze your own Plunderer. I like that.
Gorgeous optimization. I wouldn't have seen this.
Step field contact. Yeah. Okay. I like this too, even though it's gutting his overall damage potential by 8 points, losing a Shadow Step. I think you gain yourself more damage in a smaller window because you don't have to wait to draw the other field contact to pop off again.
Man, look at this turn as well. This is so sick. Like, GivePLZ goes from maybe being able to play Commencement, maybe being able to gain like 10 or even 12 armor off the Rancor, to just having to go weapon swing. And even that wasn't a certainty. He just drew the Corsair Cache off the top. And now with Prep off the top as well. Is this lethal, Chia?
I was about to ask that. If Gur is starting with the Ethereal Aug Merchant, it feels like he's just going for it.
Okay, discounting as much as possible.
Cards.
That's smart. You want to get the other Garrot, right?
Yep, completely agree. There's Shadow Step as well. And now you go Wand Thief, Penflinger. So tense.
Oh, the mana's going to be so tight.
You're paying for my discretion.
Honestly, even with Ruined Orb, he could afford to step an Octobot here, right? He only needs 2
It's got spell damage on it, though.
Oh, true, yeah. Never mind. He has to step Aug Merchant here. But it means he doesn't need all the bleeds, necessarily. But he will get them guaranteed. It just all fits.
Prep,
wow.
Garrot, and the battle cry at the end. Gur in a 3-0 sweep, even beating Big Warrior with his Garrot Rogue. Where has this Gur been for the entire middle of the season, Gia? This was an incredible series from him.
That's so cool! Gur is just bringing it for playoffs. We haven't seen him that much this season except from the beginning, but he gave us an amazing opener, and he's closing out the season in style as well. He is going to go to our decider match. Unfortunately for GivePLZ, that does mean he is eliminated despite having a strong season overall. It's kind of the antithesis of what Gur has brought to the table.
Oh, just so well played. I love to see Hearthstone like this. This screams to me that Gur has been absolutely jamming this series, jamming these specific matchups, learning how to play around Big Warrior specifically from his opponent. The Druid felt like he knew what he was doing, the Rogue as well. He knew at the start of that turn, as soon as he got the Shadow Step off the top as well, or the Swindle, sorry, off the top, that he could just go there and just go for the lethal on that turn. And he hit it with 2 mana to spare. It wasn't even close in terms of being able to get the job done. And like you said, it's unfortunate for GivePLZ because he was coming in so hot at the start of the season, winning 2 weeks of play. But in the end, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to win at the right time, and that's what Gur has done, going up 3-0 over GivePLZ, going against Alutemu in the decider match. And Gia, now my head's a complete mess. I'm scrambled because I want Alutemu to win. You and I are both big Alutemu fans, but after that series from Gur, I'm just in love with the Hearthstone that he's playing. I want him to go all the way now.
Especially after watching that instant replay of the broomstick turn. My
oh
goodness,
yeah,
that was so good. It allowed him, just the fact that he was running broomstick to get rid of Troublemaker soon, probably allowed him to go for a combo sooner because he wasn't under any pressure. And more importantly, it deleted most of his own board, which meant that the Rancor from GivePLZ on the other side was not giving him very much armor at all. And if there was any more armor there, Gur didn't have guaranteed lethal, right? With 1 Shadow Step used, he had a 40 damage breakpoint guaranteed and a Ruined Orb, but the Rancor can get you well above those ranges. Gur was aware of that, played around it, played the entire series really clean. I mean, the Garrote Rogue was just a cherry on top. The Survival Druid was pretty cool. The Mage, I mean, I think we were just a step behind Gur, honestly. Like, he found optimization